Hi, everybody. This is Holland Martin, and thanks for joining me today on the Never Die podcast with Michael Bounds. Michael, thanks for joining me again.
My man, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It's good to have you back on the show. It's been a little while since we talked, but I want to see how you're doing. How
Man,
are
I'm blessed, man. The last couple of years has
you?
kind of been crazy. So
Yes,
but you know what? God continues to bless me and I'm blessed. I'm doing great, man. Thank you for
yes.
asking.
And I did want to touch on that because those that love you and follow you on social media, I've seen you going through some things,
Yeah.
and you're very open and transparent about some of those things. And I just want to, just man to man, brother to brother, friend to friend, just hope that you're okay. Because it's a lot. It's a lot, and then Facebook and social media only knows a very little bit. I just want to make sure you're okay. I've been going through my personal issues as well. Uh, but somehow, like you said, the man upstairs has kept me grounded.
Honestly, man, I lean into my faith. So
That's it.
I think I've been put here to be a model
Mm-hmm.
to like how do you handle adversity and you don't realize how strong you are. Like
Mm-hmm.
I really relied on my faith. And so honestly, what it's allowed me to do is want to be the best Michael Bounds that I can be.
That's
So
it.
I honestly, man, I've lost weight. I go to the gym. My business is flourishing. God has been truly blessing me. It's because I've been really, really focused on Him.
Yes.
And by doing that, God just continues to bless me. So honestly, man, that's why I try to be. I'm kind of vocal about it, but the reason
Mm-hmm.
why I am is because I had to lean into my faith in order to get through the challenges,
Yes.
uh, that you go through on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's crazy is a lot of things happen, and as they're happening to you, the other people are creating a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And so, without me being vocal, I'm now forced to um, have everybody else's narrative
Yes.
be the color of what's happening when in all reality, that is not what's happening.
The
So if
farthest
I don't
thing.
say anything, I'm just letting other people
Yeah.
dictate what's happening, and that is not what's happening.
You know what
So
they say: if you tell a lie long enough, then the lie becomes a truth, and then you're made into something totally different than what is actually the truth. And
that's
I've been
not
through that.
true. You want to know the craziest thing? I'm going to tell you the craziest thing that happened to me, bro.
But
My ex-wife, I don't even want to bring her up, but
mm-hmm,
she called, she asked me if something had happened in like, my marriage. And I was like, did I ever do that to you?
mm-hmm.
Like, why would you even ask me that question? And
You mean like
if I
infidelity?
well, infidelity always comes up. Like I put my hands on her, and so my ex did some crazy, crazy stuff. And if
Mm-hmm,
anybody deserved, and I'm not a man that would ever put my hands on a woman, I would never do
mm-hmm.
that.
I
And that's
think
why I
that's
said to my,
cowardice.
it's totally cowardice. But what my ex did was crazy. And I said, look, if anybody deserved to have their hands put on them, it would be you. Did I put
Mm-hmm,
my hands on you? So why would you even come? So what's happening was the narrative would get out on social media, and then people were
mm-hmm,
coming back telling me what I did.
mm-hmm. I
I
didn't do
didn't do,
nothing.
I didn't do that. That's not what
Yeah.
happened. So I have to have this conversation so that people can know. Like this is the thing. Like I have a rep. I have a name that I have people that are looking up to me, and I have to make
Yes.
sure that everybody knows that I'm coming from a person of God and a person of faith. So
Yes.
anyway, I'm leaning into my faith, and it's been a blessing. It's what got me through it.
And me too. Without going into in depth, I've been going through some personal stuff, mental health, and we'll touch on some of those things. But uh, I leaned on the Lord. Uh, I don't know, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. right when I was trying to get this thing all started and in motion. And let me tell you, Michael, unlimited blessings, mental, physical, spiritual.
Okay.
I had a lady come up to me. People must see it. I had a lady tell me, she said, I can see the energy coming out of you. And another lady said, you're like a real life superhero. I mean, these ladies are dead but serious. And and I've just been receiving the blessings, man. Sometimes I'll just sit and just tear up. And I've been reading the Bible more. So the more I read, the more questions I have. And it's drawn me closer to and I read a lot of stuff. I go through Sumerian text, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and I'll go from the Dogon tribe. I'll go to Pleiades. I'll go to Sirius B and C. Like I really want my knowledge to encompass
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff, and a lot of that stuff has helped me through this last couple of years.
Honestly, bro. So, um, this spiritual stuff, like people say that with me, like this stuff isn't fake. Like it's legit.
No,
When you go
it's
through
real.
hell, it
It's
changes the way. And when you get really, I am so clear on just I'm just so clear because of what I went through.
mm-hmm.
It allows you to have clarity, and so that's what I prayed for. Is I prayed for
Yes.
clarity. Another thing that you hit on, that I do now, something okay. When what happens is in the Bible, it talks about dying to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is this: we live in this flesh.
Yes.
This person is
Mm-hmm.
flesh, when in all reality we're conflating. So
Yeah.
this Michael Bounds, this is a bulldozer, man. There's something. So let me kind of talk about what I'm talking about. So this
Yes.
pen, if I
Mm-hmm.
were to tell you, you were to hand me this pen, okay? You say, hey, Mike, here's a pen.
Mm-hmm.
And I were to tell you, okay, this pen is me. You would think I was crazy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So let's agree that anything that I collect is not me.
Not you.
Okay. So if you give me this pen and I say that this pen is me, you'd think I was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I eat something, I'm eating something, I'm collecting that, and that's now turning into to the
Okay.
physical. So my my body is just a collection of the food that I eat.
I eat.
Okay. So that's not me. So, like mentally, when I'm having an experience,
Mm-hmm.
those memories are imprinting on my mind. I'm collecting those memories. And
Yes.
so those memories are just a collection of things.
Mm-hmm.
They are not me. And the
I
problem
get it.
is what is left, that is you.
The byproduct of all that.
If you close your eyes, so like my hand,
Mm-hmm.
it's not me, it's my hand.
It's your
But we're
hand.
conflating this body, with us, when in
Mm-hmm.
our reality, as long as I identify myself as something smaller than I am, I make bad decisions. So
Yes.
what I'm saying to you is this: as long as I identify myself as something greater,
Higher. Yes. Greater.
I'm going to make better decisions. So what happened was that mind switch in my
Mm-hmm.
mind as I started to, you die to your, what happens is when you go through that, when you're going through that and you don't think you're going to make it through and you're like, man, I can't make it. And then you let go, you die to yourself. And that's when you become born again.
Boom.
And
And
that's what happened to me.
that's a great explanation for what I was trying to say. I said, once I gave
Yeah.
it to him, unlimited blessings the last 2 years.
Yep.
And I can
You got
relate to
you.
that.
That's being born again.
Yes.
And so that's the flaw with the church. The church is backwards. So the
Mm-hmm.
church, you should have known that what happened to you was a biblical thing, but the church doesn't show anyone that. That's the church doesn't. So we're backwards. What I did is I died to myself. And in that dying to myself, I gave it to God, and then God just began blessing me. And that's what
Boom.
happened to you,
Yeah.
right?
And I feel that. So tell me this though. How does it feel to have that clarity and to have that knowledge and to have that awakening? But I find it difficult to talk to people that aren't ready yet, aren't on that wavelength yet, aren't on that ascending mental, you know what I'm saying?
So I believe that we are being called for a higher level of consciousness. The next evolution of man is of a
Yes,
conscious
age
nature.
of Aquarius.
We don't realize who we are. But my job, it says in the Bible, he who will hear.
Yes.
Okay. So my job is to throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people can hear what I'm saying and some people can't. So
Can't.
then I'm going to keep having a conversation with the people that can, and I'm not going to like I'm not really trying to convince the people that have their own belief. What's crazy is that the church has taken and flipped us upside down, and
Yes.
we're focused on like the church has messed us up, man. So like now people have belief. Like this is the thing. This is what's so dope about me. One of the things that I do is I don't I if you ask me something, I say I don't know, even when
Mm-hmm.
I have a pretty good idea of what the answer is.
What it is. Yes.
The reason why is because when I say I know something,
Mm-hmm.
I now cancel out any thought of like any other answer. So if I
Yes.
have a belief, if I know something, then there's no
That,
answer. You know what
that's
I'm saying?
definite. That's concrete.
It's it's definite. So if I answer I don't know, I have the ability to be more pliable
Yes.
and
Yes.
movable.
And we
Right.
right
So
on the
I try
same
to,
way.
yeah, I try to, and so when I do, honestly, man, with my spiritual journey, I
Mm-hmm.
came in like a babe. I came in not knowing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I started reading scripture. I started reading the word. And I remember I started noticing that had thoughts about certain Bible scriptures. And then when I
Mm-hmm.
would come across that Bible scripture, it didn't mean what I thought it said.
Yes, because we read just that. And you know what? That's what I do, Michael. I'll take a Bible verse and I like to read before it and after it to get the full context.
No,
You
I
know?
read the whole damn Bible. I read the whole story. Like there's
Yes. Yes.
stories. Like that's the crazy thing. If you read the Bible, all they are is story. If you read it, it's just like reading a daggone novel. Like it's
Yes.
so if you read it and we lack context. Another thing that we're missing, this is another thing that we're missing, man. We're missing context because we're at the end. The Bible is prophetic. So it was
Mm-hmm.
predicting stuff. And now we look at it like a fairy tale, but what's happening is it's actually predicting stuff right now that's happening.
That's happening,
I
bro.
can give you like 6 Bible scriptures that will talk about what we're going through today,
Right now. Yep. And that's just the
right
truth, man.
now.
It
So
is the truth.
it's crazy. And then this is another thing that we're missing. There's also some missing text within the Bible. So
Yes. There's a
the
lost
Apocrypha
knowledge.
was taken out. Yeah. Well, but it's not lost, man. You can find it. It's all out there. It's just not included in the Bible. What happened is in the 1890s or something, they took some of the Bible, some of the books out of the Bible and said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is the Bible. And then in 1947, have you ever heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So for the listeners, just to kind of share with you, the Dead Sea Scrolls was they were some scrolls in a clay pot. They found them in the desert
Mm-hmm.
in the 1940s, and it was the most complete Bible that has ever been found. So in the 19 and guess what it had in it?
The
The Apocrypha.
commandments.
It's
The
the same
apocrypha.
books
The apocrypha text. Yes.
that we
Yes.
took out was
Yep.
in that. So right now, that Bible that we're reading is incomplete.
Yes. The book of Enoch. There's some other books. I read the Book of Enoch, which talks about the fallen angels, the Anunnaki, the flood, the Nephilim. It's like people really have to dig deep into some of those other books as well. But there's a reason why, and like the whole
I've
King
read it a few
James thing.
times.
Yes, the
Yeah.
whole King James thing. So I had to go deep on
There's
it.
whole other books. There's whole other scriptures. There's the scriptures
Yes.
of Saint Thomas. There's the script. So there's all these different books, and we
Mm-hmm.
don't read them. And so
That's it.
if the word is this, and then I'm studying this, don't you see that
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a difference in
Yes.
what we believe?
Yes. That's the truth. And I do feel that there's some lost knowledge out there that we need. There's that. It's almost like the jigsaw puzzle that I talk about in my other things. But as far as there is a lost knowledge, as far as you can go, the Sphinx, the pyramids,
Oh
different,
boy, yeah.
finding hieroglyphics in the Grand
We're
Canyon, finding
upside down,
seashells,
bro.
and huh?
We're upside down.
Yes.
So we're upside down. You're absolutely right. The knowledge of building the Sphinx. What's crazy
Mm-hmm.
is during the time that they built the pyramids,
Mm-hmm.
the Sphinx was considered ancient.
Yes.
Does that
Yes.
the Sphinx? Hold on, the Sphinx when they were building the pyramids, the Sphinx was considered ancient,
Yes.
bro.
By the time the Romans got there, it had already been there 5,000 years. Under sand. They had to dig the Sphinx out from her head. You know, so I love all
So
that
yes, they
knowledge,
did.
and they're lined up with Orion's belt. And there's another one lined up in I think it's Quetzalcoatl, Mexico. That's Mexico City's Teotihuacan is lined up with the same three stars like Orion's belt. Man, it's so uh, well, I could talk about that stuff. That
Yeah, I
is
could talk about that stuff too.
I am
So
ancient aliens type dude.
okay, well, I'm not as much of a but I do believe this is what I believe. I believe that history has been hijacked
Yes,
and
yes, it's been
everything.
flipped,
So what
co-opted.
it's been co-opted. It's been everything's been flipped.
Yep.
So what happened was in the 300s to the 300s to the 700s,
Mm-hmm.
there was an Arab invasion in
Yes.
Egypt and in Israel. So at that point in time, if I close my eyes, if you close your eyes right now and you think of America,
Mm-hmm.
okay? If I tell you America, close your eye. If I tell you what does a typical person in America look like today and close your eyes, what do you project? Now, close your eyes and think about an American 2,000 years ago.
Yes.
What did an American look like? They look like a Native American. So what
Yeah,
I'm
a
telling you,
darker skin. Yeah. Where now it's
yep,
the apple pie, blonde hair, blue eyed
yep,
kind of
get it
American.
done. Yep,
Yeah.
that's American, right? So think about Egypt, Israel, that
Yes.
type of what do they look like? They look like us.
Mm-hmm.
2,000 years later, now I close my eyes and I think of Egypt and I think of Arab. So what I'm
Yes.
telling you is they have told us if you look at the Sphinx, it looks like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But you're telling me that Harvey Levenstein built that.
No. No.
That's not what happened.
You know what's
So
crazy? But I was gonna say, you know what's crazy? So I told a lady today, and we were talking about the Bible and stuff. I said, you know what, man? I read the Bible front to back. I said, you know what? There's no mention of Europe, Germany, Ireland, Scotland, Scandinavia in that book at all. She said, you know what? I didn't think about that. I said, yeah, because it's all Africa. She kind of looked at me, and then you could see in her mind that because when I mean co-opted, we look at Cesare Borgia, that guy, and that's in every black family's wall. But in actuality, his hair is not wool, his feet are not bronze, his eyes are not fire. And when you understand that that's Rodrigo Borgia's son, up there that got painted by Shakespeare, and then you go back and like for me, I go back to all that stuff, and I want to know. And then when I find out that there's no mention of Europe at all in the Bible, and King James wasn't even he's from there.
You gonna give me you gonna give me
So
So
that could
what's
open
happened
my
is
curiosity.
it's been
Yeah,
hijacked.
it's been
Christianity's been
hijacked.
hijacked.
I want to
It's
know
been
what the
hijacked.
battle was that got it flipped. How did we lose it
So
to them?
I can tell you. I could tell you. So I pray. So this is what's happened. Okay. A couple of things have happened. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, because we're losing like the whole context because this is like 2000, or actually it's been longer than that.
Yes.
So you have this guy walking around 2000 years ago named
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeshua. There
And
was
so
no
what's
J back
happened
then.
is
Yeshua.
right. So right now, I'm trying to say because I want to be controversial.
And that you know what though? This is our fourth video, right? And we've been politically correct on all of them. There's one. Remember that
Yeah,
one
well,
we did? I had the
dude,
line behind me. The one I had to put in the clips because it was so controversial. I told myself, I said, on my deathbed, I'm going to release the full unedited one. But there's two of them I can't even release of ours because it's
yeah. So
stat quo. So we have to dance around.
it's been hijacked.
Why do we have to dance around for them though? But I guess just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So this is I'll be out there. Okay, so this is what happened.
Let's
This is
toe the
what I've gotten
line.
really clear on.
I don't want to be canceled.
I want to be clear. I mean, and it's not mean. It's just
How it
real. It's
is,
just
bro.
reality and everything.
Yeah, they don't want to admit the truth.
So the thing is, are you? Can you hear me? You're kind of breaking up.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, my internet is jacked up,
Okay.
but I can hear you.
Okay. So 7 of the 8 top religions have a water event. So what does
Mm-hmm.
that mean?
The flood event, Noah, the
7
ark.
of the 8 top, they have a Noah's Ark. Okay.
Yes.
So what I'm telling you is this. The Torah, which
Mm-hmm.
is the Jewish Bible,
Yes.
is merely it's the first 4 books of the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what happened was we're all, and not Jewish is kind of, Judaism has been hijacked. We're conflating
Yes. The original
Judaism and
Hebrews are from
Hebrew, but
Ethiopia.
we're just going to leave it here. Okay.
Yes.
So we were all Jews. Okay. And then Jesus came.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mark, Luke, we're all, they all made the Gospels. And then we took the Torah and the Bible and we added the Gospels and we created the Bible.
Yes.
Okay. So then we had Muhammad that came out 600 years after Jesus.
Yes.
So then Muhammad, he's coming in and he's just talking about what happened at the Bible, and he's talking about events in the Judaism and in Christianity.
Yes.
So then, guess what? I read the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
The Bhagavad Gita is the Hindu Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It's 7,000 years old. It was written 5,000 years before Jesus, and guess what it did?
Now, don't they worship elephants and different things of that nature, animals? No. What is the story?
They worship God. We're all saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this: now, you understand? You've heard of in Egypt?
No, time out. I didn't make my point.
Okay,
bro. In the Bhagavad Gita, it was written 5,000 years before Jesus. It was written 7,000 years ago. Guess what it predicts?
Stuff that's happening now.
It predicts Jesus. The Bhagavad Gita is the Hindu Bible. It predicts that a Messiah is going to come and save us.
before it happened.
Before Jesus, 5,000 years before he was here.
Yes.
What I'm telling you is we're all saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is what got cleared. I wasn't reading my Bible. So then I was letting my pastor tell me what the Bible meant.
Yes.
And then I was internalizing and fighting with you, thinking about, but what I discovered is everybody's doing that. Nobody's reading the Bible.
Themselves, yes. You looking at
Themselves.
TV or going to have him tell you when the Bible is sitting right there in front of you. And that's what I do. I open it myself. Honestly, I'll open a page up and it'll be looking at me in the face. And
I'll
I'll
read. So then the people that are doing that in Christianity, guess what? Muslims aren't doing it.
mm-hmm.
Jews aren't reading the Torah, and the Hindu, nobody's reading nothing.
Yes.
So what I did was I went through and I started reading. I read the Quran. I read it a couple of times. I've read the Torah. I've read the Brigitte Bagita a couple of times, and I read the Bible a couple of times. And we're all saying, guess who's in it?
Same story.
Noah's in it. Noah's in the Quran. Noah's in the Torah. Like the same characters. Now they're not in the Brigitte Bagita because the Brigitte Bagita was written before around, but it predicts Jesus. So what I'm telling you is, if you understand all of the different teachings, and if you understand them all, they all begin to make sense.
Yes. Now let me ask you this: you've heard of Akhenaten, the Egyptian pharaoh, and his son King Tut, the daughter Nefertiti. Now you know Akhenaten. He was monotheism, where they worshipped polytheism. Akhenaten came in and issued monotheism, but then he, from my understanding and maybe lack of understanding, him and Moses were close. And did Moses take over Akhenaten's cause once he died? Because when Akhenaten died, his son King Tut went back to polytheism for a while. But then Moses went and took the 12 tribes on their exodus.
There's a couple of things there. I'm going to tell you, I'm super dope at saying I don't know. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I want to tell you is that we lack context.
Yes.
At that time, when Jesus was walking around, and when this was all written, polytheism was the standard practice.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to tell you,
more than one God for people that don't know.
More than one. There was the Zeus. There was all these different guys. The god of this, the god of that. And Aries, what happened was this dude started walking around talking about, there's only one God. Whether it's Tut, whether it's Moses, well, whoever did that, what I want people to understand, when I got really clear in the Bible, it seems crazy to think that there's all these different gods, but at that point in time, that's what people believe. So when this guy's walking around saying, no, there's only one God, and I'm the son of that God, it was crazy. People were like, come on, what's this brother walking around here? Because he was a brother. What's this brother walking around here talking about? I'm the son of God. That's what we miss when we're reading this word. We don't understand it. But at that time, God, me saying God, there's a God, wasn't acceptable.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
I'm loving this talk,
man. So like, by having that, I had that moment like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. And so God just kept kind of revealing things to me in that context so I think when we read scripture, we're lacking context.
Yes. The totality context. We kind of go in parables and short stories, but the start.
We don't even do that. You know what we do? We Joel Osteen. I am depressed. So let's find a Bible verse about depression. We're psychopaths.
Yeah.
I am this. So therefore, I'm going to make the Bible fit me. When in all reality, the Bible is the word. If you literally, honestly, you know what the Bible is? What? It's patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So this is okay. This is what's going on right now. Okay. It's patterns. If you look at the Bible, you got Sodom and Gomorrah,
Yes.
you got Noah's Ark, you got Egypt. Those
Mm-hmm.
are all extinction level events where
Yes.
where he blew it up.
There's an end. Yep.
Well, right. So what I'm telling you is Egypt, what happened? Pharaoh let my people go.
Mm-hmm.
That was an extinction level event. There
Yes.
were the Egyptians had had the Hebrews and let them go. So what I'm telling you is we're going through one of those events right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the
Yes.
difference was we were wicked, we were evil, and we stayed in our so Jesus is Jesus is the coach. He's the great coach. So he is a man that became
Mm-hmm.
Christ. And
Yes.
so we are being called to become like Christ.
Yes.
We have been living in our flesh. We think that we're bodies with a soul.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm telling you,
We're just clay.
I think we're one soul with several bodies. That's the Holy
Mm-hmm.
Spirit. It's almost like, think about it like our cell phone.
Yes.
I'm a device and then I'm connected to 5G. That's
Mm-hmm.
my spirit. And
Yes.
so like that's you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I and that Holy Spirit, that right there, that's how then we're all
And
connected.
it's there, but do you have the hotline? Do you have the connection to it? It's there in the ether, but do you have the connection to it for the
We
knowledge?
I think we all have the connection. It's just the awareness of that connection. That's
Yes.
consciousness. We're psychopaths. We've been told that we are special. We are told that we're individual. I look at you, my man, as a different version of myself. The Bible says,
Yes.
you love each other as you love yourself. So
Yes.
all that means is I love you like you're
Just
my like you're
iron
just
sharpens
another
iron.
you're
Yeah.
another version of me, my man. And everybody that I come in contact with,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I view them. They're just another version of me.
And I want to touch on that because uh, and we've talked on our spiritual journey and our awakening, but there was one Bible verse that really hit me, and it kind of explained what I was going through. It's with Romans 12, 1 through 2, when it talks about renewing of the mind. And all you can go through any trial and tribulation if you renew the mind. It's not money, it's not material things, it's not flesh and things of that nature. But if you renew your mind, Romans 12, 1 through 2, things will come. And when I read that a couple of weeks ago and I jotted it down. It made total sense because I renewed my mind in a positive manner as opposed to all that ratchet stuff that, we uh, tend to do when we're younger and learning.
Totally.
So I got rid of all that stuff. I really renewed my mind. And like I said earlier, unlimited blessings. So could you touch on that as far as the change that people need to and should make to reach a higher consciousness as far as their creator and things of that nature?
All right. This wasn't a have to. This wasn't a I want to. This was I have to. This was a life or death. You were talking about mental health earlier. Like when
Yes.
um we are computers
Mm-hmm.
and we are these super advanced computers and we have no instruction manual.
Nope.
Honestly, we do have an instruction manual and it's the word, it's the
Yes.
Bible, and we never read it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, once you start realizing that Jesus is the model,
Yes.
you just realize, like, hold on, this dude is the model,
I just
and I just
follow.
need to
Yeah.
follow this model.
And it
And then
works.
it works.
Man, it
And this
works.
is the and you need, like, as long as you start identifying as the I start identifying, and then God starts to bless you. The
Mm-hmm.
problem is we don't do that.
Yes.
We try to take it and we try to do it ourselves, and we
Mm-hmm.
continue to do it and do it and do it until we do what? Die to ourselves.
Yes.
So once you die to yourself and you realize that, you know what, I can't do this,
Hmm.
then you start relying on a higher. And believe it or not, you have to believe that there's that higher spirit or that higher calling
There, yes.
to do it. And I'm just telling you, I break down every time I hear that never would have made it, because
Yeah.
honestly, so
Never
you
would have
a renewal
made
of
it.
mind, you have to renew your mind. Honestly,
Yes.
we're in this Western civilization and we're crazy. We're psychopaths.
Garbage. It's garbage, man. Western
We're
civilization.
psychopaths.
I can almost see what the world looks at when they look at us, America,
I
whatever.
can.
Because we're all together, you know. It's it's
So
uh it's
what
heartening.
it is this. It's this. Everybody around me hears this all the time. We focus on the pill. So I love it. Let's talk about this is a nice little thing about sports. So everybody focuses on scoring a touchdown.
Yes.
But if I make 3 yards every time I get the ball,
Hmm.
I'm going to score a touchdown.
I'm going to score
I'm going to score every
every
time.
time. That's what they said at
Okay?
practice today. Coach said, if you give me 4 yards every time, we're just going to methodically move down the field and score.
So in our life, we focus on touchdowns.
Hmm.
So if you look on my resume right now, it says that I'm results oriented.
Yes.
That's wrong. We need to be more process oriented. What
Hmm.
are the steps?
Yes.
What are the things that I need to do the 3 yards in order to get the result?
Yeah. So tell me, what was the seminal instance that changed the Marion Michael into the Michael that we see now?
Um, I'm still the Marion Michael.
That's what
I've
I
just
like, baby.
evolved. I
Yes. 'Cause,
haven't changed. Don't let the suit and tie fool you. So
that's what I
no,
tell them.
so what it is I'm an entrepreneur. So like being an entrepreneur is the ultimate. Like in order for your business to grow, you have to grow as a man and as
Yeah.
a being. And so a lot of the growth has been facilitated through the pain of entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
Also had with my divorce and
Yes.
all that, going through divorcing someone like who I divorced.
Hmm.
And they make everything really hard. So
Yes.
when you do that, you tend to reevaluate. You know what? Mike Tyson said something, and I live by it.
Hmm.
Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. And so
Oh.
what's happened is last 2 years, I've been getting punched in the mouth. So
Hmm.
you're getting Michael 2.0.
Yes. The reinvented one.
Yeah.
So now, talking about that Marion Michael, there's some video floating around, which I need to get as much as you got, so I can put some of that stuff on Mr. Mark Productions. But there's some video out of you just manhandling some dudes from Anderson, getting a late
It was
sack
an
on
act.
the
It was a
quarterback.
penalty. It was a
Yeah.
penalty. It was a so what's funny, yeah, that was back in the day, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good time. So
On that field right
I
behind
want to get
him.
that whole video, and I only could find a snippet. That game, it's not even about me, honestly. That game we play Anderson and Tony Sharon. That was the very first time that Tony Sharon was Tony Sharon,
Mm-hmm.
was in the Anderson
In
game.
that
He
Anderson
rattled
game.
off 7. Up until that point, Tony Sharon was a linebacker.
Yes.
People don't
Yes.
remember that.
I did a
He was a
podcast with him.
linebacker.
I did a podcast
Yeah,
with him,
so
and
that Anderson game. I want to get that Anderson game, but I don't have it. But
the
go
whole
ahead. I'm
thing.
sorry.
Oh no, but there's a lot of WSOT Channel 25 video floating around, and I want as much of it I can get. I know there's a couple of guys from that '88 team that's got some video that I need to get, and but I just need to get out there
You'll
and
have mine. You'll have mine. Even if I get the link, I'll give you the link. But I would love to send it. I was going to my assistant is I give it to her to
mm-hmm.
put on YouTube so that everybody can have it. Because
Perfect.
what happened was this closet right here,
Mm-hmm.
bunch of tapes in it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna send this to Legacy Box. And I sent
Yes.
it to Legacy Box, and we came back, and I started looking at this stuff, and I was like, yo, I wonder if anybody else would want to see this.
Mm-hmm. So what Legacy Box puts them from VHS to DVD? Okay. I think
Oh, actually
Walgreens.
they put them in the cloud. So I got an email with a link, and I could
Mm-hmm.
download the link and just
Boom, there it
pull it
is.
up on my
Okay.
phone. Like, then they gave me it's sweet.
Pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't, it keeps it forever.
Mm-hmm.
So those are all, so a lot of those tapes, I don't even know if what's so great is that I describe what happened against Kokomo.
Mm-hmm.
We were both undefeated. It
Mm-hmm.
was the 8th game of the season. We were ranked 8th and they were ranked 9th. They had to bring in bleachers from
Yes.
Matterhorn because there
Just
were so many people from Kokomo to K. I think it was like 20,000 people. And you just can't until you see it. And I don't think
DC.
anybody has got that film. So when I put that on Facebook, I was like, you know what? I wonder if anybody has seen this in
And seen
25 years.
that.
So we hear about it, the legend of it, but we don't really see it.
I tell you what, it was good seeing Moose run that thing too. I need to get Moose on here bad. I talked to Derek Bryant. I talked to Andrew Morrell. I talked to Anthony Monday. I need to get all those guys on the show because
Yeah.
a lot of them are linebackers anyway, and I'm a linebacker coach. So we got plenty. Oh, man, I can't wait.
Yeah.
But
So man, it was really fun in '98 to run around with those guys, Tommy Pierce and
oh,
Joe
yeah,
Vaughn
stud.
and
Baseball,
Jason
basketball, and
Hall.
football. Mm-hmm.
Reggie was I think that year he was a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
The year before that he was a freshman, and it was unheard of for Marion High School to have a freshman starting at quarterback.
Yes, I think the
That was
next one after
something,
that was Shane Nevers, and then the next one after that was Lorenzo. So it's
but
not very often.
it never happened before that. He
No.
broke the seal. Like that just never really
Yep.
happened. And if you can see his poise, man, he had a
Oh
great
man.
delivery, great throw.
And you end up
Uh,
going to the Army,
yeah, he went
playing
played for the
for the
cadet.
Army.
Yep.
But you know what? Let's cut this thing short on a high note with the Marion Giants and all that. I'm just happy to have you on here. I'm just glad to have you as a friend. I do want to thank you since the last time we had one of these. You invited me down to Top Golf, and we had a great time down there. And I look forward to coming down to Indy and hanging with you down there here real soon once the football season gets over and everything. But I want to thank you for coming on with
If
this
you want to
quick
do
talk.
this again and do more sports oriented, we could do that too. Like, because we talked a
Yeah,
lot
I
about
mean, man,
scripture and stuff.
when
So if
me
you
and you
want to just
talk,
talk about the videos,
yeah, when me and you talk, man, it just goes so smooth, man. But I wanted to thank you, and I'll talk to you another time, baby.
yes, sir.
Thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe to see more exciting content from Mr. Martin Productions and the Never Die Podcast.